Hello friends and viewers, and welcome to my Rawiyah character guide. My name is James, I'm a global player and I started Sword of Convallaria in early September 2024. I'm a strategy and turn-based RPG fan, with the Fire Emblem series, Tactics Ogre, and Unicorn Overlord being some recent titles I enjoy. As such, I lack the technical knowledge and exposure to the Taiwan and China scene. I'm also a PvE-focused player, so I have no knowledge of PvP. As a result, I'm subject to feedback and open to being wrong. If you come across conflicting information to other guides and creators in this video, then that suggests that there are multiple ways to play a character. Play your way. As a fun fact about myself, I'm also an avid Thai tea boba enjoyer. Rawiyah's trait is bottoms up. At star level 5, she has an 80% chance to recover 40% of her lost HP and gain the Tipsy buff. The Tipsy buff increases her crit by 30% and decreases damage taken by 10%, and it can be stacked. Her initial basic attack is Gash. It has some utility, being a minor physical damage attack and knocks the target back by 2 tiles. Her initial skill is a combo skill. Gale Breach, which charges at an enemy, dealing very minor damage, 30%, then switches to Tropical Cyclone. Tropical Cyclone is a single target attack, dealing 140% damage, increased by the number of debuffs on a target. This is an overview of her rank 1 skills, Co-Attack, and Toughness. Co-Attack is a straightforward damage increase. With her standard 3 move, and despite a gap closer through Gale Breach, it's likely for other units to trail with or slightly behind her in most maps. Toughness can help maintain Rawiyah's damage, but injured and dying are not states you want your characters to stay long in. She has good self-sustain to be healthy through her bottoms-up trait and another pint active skill. You're unlikely to use either of these abilities in the long term. Co-Attack offers a minor HP increase, and a higher HP pool means more HP healed from bottoms up and another pint. My choice here is Co-Attack. For her rank 3 skills, I recommend Another Pint. Another Pint is an instant ability, so she can heal herself from injured to healthy and follow up with a skill or basic attack. Additionally, getting tipsy is subject to RNG from her trait even at star level 5, so Another Pint guarantees higher tipsy uptime. Piercing Bash, with a 0 energy cost, would substitute a basic attack if Rawiyah is lacking energy or other skills are on cooldown. While in a single turn, Piercing Bash may net you more damage than a basic attack, Another Pint syncs in tandem with Rawiyah's trait by sustaining tipsy uptime and have higher average crit. For her rank 5 skills, I recommend Screw Off. Despite Rawiyah's self-healing capabilities, playing her as a tank with Guardian's Heart is risky. Not only could this trigger if Rawiyah is injured or dying already, but it can also place Rawiyah and another unit in an unideal position. With Screw Off, it's easier to position Rawiyah to control this reaction, and the additional knockback tile can be advantageous. For her rank 7 skills, I recommend the Sword of Convallaria Aura. The other unit that possesses a Sword of Convallaria Aura is Mytha, but Rawiyah's Aura is superior, providing additional damage dealt and reduced damage taken. Mania Smash's energy cost contests with and is equal to Gale Breach and Tropical Cyclone, but Gale Breach and Tropical Cyclone will net more damage. If Rawiyah's trait and Another Pint still do not make her healthy, you would pivot to coordinating more external healing or support than consider lifesteal. For her rank 9 basic attack upgrade, the choice is up to you. Fatal Attack nets more damage and plays well with Rawiyah's crit scaling. However, the utility from Dispelling Strike should not be overlooked. Whichever skill you select will depend on other dispels you have in your core roster and the Tuning Hammer weapon. Note that Rawiyah's initial basic attack, Gash, may still be used for its knockback effect as well. My pick here is Dispelling Strike. At rank 11, I recommend Gale Spin Attack. Gale Spin Attack adds a powerful AoE ability to Rawiyah's toolkit while also applying physical defense debuffs. Rawiyah has relatively high speed amongst breakers, so other physical-based breakers, seekers, destroyers, and watchers can capitalize on this debuff in one round. Legacy of Comrades has a niche use in summoner teams where it can trigger when a summoned unit dies. Otherwise, 3-star objectives ordinarily give you a leeway of 1 to 2 units dying, but the buff from this ability is very unlikely to make up for 1 unit dying. This is the skill build I recommend running on Rawiyah. Your basic attack, the Screw Off reaction, Gale Breach, Another Pint, and Sword of Convallaria. Your basic attack should be whichever rank 7 skill you selected. However, recall you can swap back to Gash should you need the knockback. Consider swapping Gale Breach to Gale Spin Attack if you need more AoE damage. I recommend the Feast Axe or Tuning Hammer weapons. Rawiyah is likely to regularly hit lower HP percentage targets with her trait and Another Pint, so Feast Axe synergizes with her well. The healing effect from the weapon also adds to her self-sustain. Tuning Hammer increases physical attack with no additional conditions like Feast Axe, and dispels are commonly good. Not pictured here is the Denial Hammer, which technically increases the damage of her Gale Breach but not Tropical Cyclone. Gale Breach by itself is weak, and there are much stronger weapon options. For trinkets, I recommend Evergreen Pendant, Crystal Burst Armor, or Flying Blade Arm Guard. Between Rawiyah's trait and Another Pint, Evergreen Pendant will regularly trigger and buff Rawiyah. However, you lose out on base stats compared to legendary trinkets, as Evergreen Pendant is a yellow trinket. Crystal Burst Armor adds some survivability and increases damage of her reaction skill. Flying Blade Arm Guard is a popular trinket for damage dealers, and she has a special animation with this trinket. Rawiyah will likely take damage on the front line, and she boasts somewhat high speed. So any other trinkets that will heal herself, mitigate damage, or support others will not be bad choices at all. Here are some tarot recommendations, not listed in any particular order. Verdict of Justice is a good generally used tarot to add with her crit from Tipsy. Hierophant's Laws assumes you have unlocked its hidden effect. This tarot will increase her single target damage as well as her healing from Another Pint. Course of Fortune is also a good general use tarot. The heal will also trigger Evergreen Pendant's effect if it's equipped. Temptation of the Devil is a good tarot and will be better than other options depending on enemy count. And Dream of the Magician is good if you're using her Gale Spin attack. For engravings, I recommend the Sword and Wand Resonance. With her base movement and Gale Breach, you should regularly be able to maximize the attack and defense gains. You can consider Sword and Cup. It's useful in scenarios where Rawiyah cannot move enough to use the Sword and Wand, and the Lifesteal can also help trigger Evergreen Pendant if it's equipped. For some tips around team composition with Rawiyah, remember that her Tropical Cyclone scales with the number of debuffs on a target, so bring units that can apply multiple debuffs. With Rawiyah's base speed, this typically means you stall casting Tropical Cyclone for at least one round, but you have a 2-round buffer following Gale Breach to cast Tropical Cyclone if necessary. As a side note, if Rawiyah is inflicted by any speed debuffs, you may still be able to use the lower speed to her advantage if that enables your units to move and apply debuffs before Rawiyah's turn. In addition to Sword of Convallaria, consider that Rawiyah is also part of the Aria and Alacrity categories. Rawiyah will benefit from any further unique Aria and Alacrity leader auras, which are detailed in the next slides. Among external category buffs, Dentalion provides an Aria leader aura. His unique effect is that allies' attacks deal 20% more damage to enemies affected by 3 or more debuffs. This pairs nicely with Rawiyah's Tropical Cyclone, which scales with up to 5 debuffs on a target. Xavier and the KA Fire Conjurer have the battle flag of Aria, but Dentalion provides a stronger aura. And if you're using Sword of Convallaria on Rawiyah already, then these auras are redundant. Inanna's Soulmate is a great ability to have in an Aryan team, providing up to 20% attack and defense. As a general note, Rawiyah's rank 1 co-attack skill does not conflict with the co-attack from this ability, so these two can stack, but you're unlikely to be using Rawiyah's rank 1 co-attack in her skill set. For Alacrity buffs, Cole provides additional critical strike chance and critical damage, which complement well with Rawiyah's toolkit. It is another unique trait to add with Rawiyah's Sword of Convallaria aura. Nurgle provides a weaker Alacrity aura than Cole, but you may still consider this if you are using Nurgle as part of an Aryan team. This is a quick snapshot of my Rawiyah right now. I have her with the Feast Axe and Evergreen Pendant, using Sword and Wand engravings. For tarots, I have several tarots spread out amongst characters, but I have her comfortably with Hierophant's Laws, having that unique effect for increased single target damage and single target healing. For her skill build, it replicates my recommended skill build with the Spelling Strike, Screw Off, Gale Breach, Another Pint, and Sword of Convallaria aura. That concludes my character guide. As mentioned in my disclaimer, I welcome feedback and I'm open to being wrong. I'm still learning and improving at this video game just like you. Additionally, if you find conflicting information to other guides or content creators, then that means there are multiple ways to build a character and still be successful. I highly recommend that you play your way. Here is my contact information, my YouTube, Discord, and email. And as always, please feel free to comment below with any feedback you have about this guide. Last but not least, I want to credit and share these resources that contributed to helping me build this guide. Thanks for watching.